I'm Peyton Watson, and here's my project on Miep Gies. So, Miep Gies was born Herman Sandtrautz on February 15th, 1909, in Vienna, Austria. She's the daughter of Catherine, and her father is unknown to this day, and she also has a half-sister who is also unknown. She's born Catholic, and her family was poor, and this resulted in Miep becoming malnourished after a low supply of food following World War I. So in order for Miep's family to try and save her, they sent her to live in the Netherlands at 11 to become healthier. It was around December in 1920. She became part of a foster family in Leiden, and this is the family name. They nicknamed her Miep there with her foster family. She just became a part of the family. Her foster family moved to Amsterdam, and her biological parents decided to let Miep stay in the Netherlands. So there's a fun fact, I guess. When she was 18, she began working as a typist at an embroidery and plating workshop. And that's where she met her future husband, Miep Gies. A few years later, oppression began, the Holocaust kind of started, and she lost her job there. After Miep lost her job, an eventful change sparked the meeting of Anne Frank's family and the discovery of the journal, which we will discuss later. Miep began working for Otto Frank at his gem making business, which was just starting at the time. She became the firm's customer service representative, and she was answering questions by phone and mail. During this time, Miep and Jan got married on July 16th, 1941, during World War II. Jan was a social worker with social services, and they bought a house near where the Frank family lived. One day, Otto came to Miep with his plans of going into hiding, and Miep chose to help the Franks immediately. The family hid in a secret annex, and an annex is a building that is connected to the main building. Miep took care of food for the Franks, and there were multiple other helpers that did other things, but Miep is just one of them, and probably the most impactful. Many people don't know that Miep and Jan were hiding someone in their home at the time as well, so it wasn't just the Frank family that they were helping. His name was Kuno van der Horst, a student in hiding after refusing to sign a declaration of loyalty to the Nazis. Unfortunately, on August 4th, 1944, Dutch officers raided the town that the Franks were in. Arrested the Frank family. They arrested the Frank family and the Van Pels family and another person who was also hiding in the annex. Miep and Bep, another helper, went into the secret annex after the raid and after everybody was arrested in an attempt to salvage the family's personal belongings. There they found scraps of paper that were a part of Anne's diary, and Miep saved them. Miep didn't just let everything go down. She attempted to save the arrested people. I believe that in addition to the families that had been arrested from the annex, some of the helpers were also arrested. But Miep went and attempted to bribe them out, and it didn't work. Miep and other helpers kept the business afloat as they waited for the return of the 8 people who had been arrested. The Netherlands became a free country again on May 5th, 1945. A month later, Otto Frank showed up at Miep and Jan's house. They offered him a place to stay, and he did stay there for more than 7 years after the Netherlands became a free country. Unfortunately, as many people know, Anne died at Bergen-Belsen, along with her sister Margot, after contracting typhus. Margot died a little bit after Anne and just a few weeks before they would have been liberated. Similarly, Edith, Anne and Margot's mother, died in Auschwitz a few weeks before its liberation. She died from weakness, disease, and likely starvation, but the exact cause is unknown. Miep gave Otto Anne's diary. It was publicized in 1947, and Miep only read it after Otto had convinced her to because she didn't want to read it at first. Miep and Jan went on to have one son, Paul Gies. Paul Gies survives his parents and is 74 years old today. Miep died on January 11th of 2010. She died from injuries after her fall in a nursing home in Hoorn, Netherlands. She was 100 years old at the time of her death, and she survived her husband, Jan, who died on January 26, 1993, at 87 years old. Miep was awarded the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany, along with the Wallenberg Medal by the University of Michigan. After that, she received the Yad Vashem Reiches among the Nations Medal. She was knighted in the Order of Orange Nassau by Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. That concludes my talk about Miep Gies, who is a very inspirational woman and changed many lives with her impact on the Frank family, and by her keeping Anne Frank's diary, which is publicized everywhere today and has been translated in many different languages.